Thank you for coming to Acupuncture 101. So we kind of ran out of time. I did a filibuster or AccuBuster, right? So then we didn't get to all these questions. What we're gonna do is go over all these questions and go over all these brainstorm of what factors make you sick, okay? Lack of sleep, correct. There's 3 types of issues with sleep. You can't fall asleep, you can't stay asleep, or you are not really getting sleep. That means that you could sleep, but you wake up still feeling very tired. And also, light sleeper has to do with staying asleep. Okay? So, again, you can't fall asleep, you can't stay asleep, or you can't wake up. Can't wake up means it's hard time waking up. That means you're not actually getting the rest when you're sleeping. This has to do with taking sleep aids, medications, also CBD or marijuana, okay? When you get to sleep, it's actually a sedation. That's not sleep. Sleep means that you dream. When you dream, it's almost like the computer recompiling information. So what sleep is, you want to go to sleep, you sleep, you don't have interruptions, you wake up feeling great, next, ready to go. Stress, okay, this is very correct. So try to manage your stress, make sure you get exercise and plenty of rest. Eating bad, okay, so you know that, don't do it, okay. Alcohol, you know what to do, don't do it. Smoking, okay. We help people quit smoking and alcohol. When you have smoking and alcohol, that means that your body is craving, okay, neuroreceptors for you to satiate that, which then helps you deal with balance. So what acupuncture does is that it resets your brain so that you have a healthy level of dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. This then redirects your body on what you want. So a lot of patients that come in for quitting smoking or quitting drinking, they later feel like, okay, lately I don't feel like I need it. But I can still drink if there's a party, but it just feels like, you know what? It doesn't taste like it was before because your chemicals in your brain's changed. No exercise, okay? So once you get good sleep, you would have energy to exercise. So this is related here, okay? Mindset, yes. Definitely make sure you have a healthy mindset. Toxins, I think that goes with eating bad, and also there's the environmental toxins. If you work in a chemical place with a lot of chemicals, or your house is moldy, so you got to make sure you check that out, okay? Unresolved emotional trauma, that just takes some acupuncture to fix. Genetics, there's not too much you think acupuncture do can. Actually, we can. Here's the interesting thing, okay? When people say, how long does it take for me to solve this issue? But then you find out that this issue is inherited genetically, right? But when it's genetic, it's genetically disposition in your mind, and then it's also genetically passed on as a habit. So for example, let's say mom and dad are both night owls. They stayed up way late. When the kids, if you stay up late, you can't tell your kids to go to sleep early, right? So the kids stay up late, and then the kids, they want to stay up late, and then they find another night out, and the kids stay up late, and your grandkids stay up late. So this is a habit that perpetuates. So it's not that easy to change. In fact, in acupuncture, there's an old saying, someone asks you how long it takes to treat something completely, 3 generations to completely resolve of this negative pattern, okay? Stagnant lip, okay, very good. Stagnant lip has to do with what? Has to do with digestion. So, and then also qi, okay? So remember we're talking about qi is what? Qi controls your body, contains fluid. Also actualize, right? So move the energy, right? And then also is what? Defense against exterior, okay? So one of that containment is having issues. Containing fluid, not moving fluid, so then it's causing stagnation. So if there's healthy qi, that is good. And qi comes from what? Qi comes from the stomach. Actually, if you're a little bit advanced, it's actually called postnatal qi, which comes from digestion. And the genetics called prenatal qi. So there's qi that you're born with. So let's say if there is trauma while the mother is carrying the baby, that would be prenatal qi stagnant. And then we do acupuncture and healthy eating. Postnatal, then we manage that, okay? Kids, yeah, if you can't manage kids, don't have kids. That solves that. I wish I have a button that do laughter, okay? That's a kind of a joke, but heat placement. Okay, good question. I'm assuming people are talking about the heat lamp. So when you get treated, the reason we put it on your belly, we're actually heating up the small intestine. You already know, right? To quick recap, small intestine has to do with what? Small intestine has to do with heating up the large intestine so that the large intestine vapor goes up to the lung and nourishes the lung. And then that, in excess, turns into your saliva. So if your mouth is dry, that's actually could be your small intestine is cold, not heating up the large intestine and not nourishing the lung. This is why people that smoke, dry lungs, they have dry mouth as well. Okay? Same thing. Because it has to do with the fluid of the lungs. The lung fluid comes from large intestine, which is actually, right, formed poop getting formed because we take all the fresh water up. Okay? Post-treatment advice. So a couple of things. It's preferred that you don't drink alcohol, don't do hard exercise, strenuous exercise. So if you, after acupuncture, you run a marathon, first off, you probably won't feel like running too much because your body is tired. Two, if you make yourself to run too much, that'll actually prohibit the body from healing. A lot of you ask, why do I get tired after acupuncture sometimes? All I want to do is sleep for today, next day, day after next. Okay, let me draw you a picture. So we talked about what? Relativity, right? There's inside and outside, okay? So this is your body. So all the energy is out there, is outside, okay? But what acupuncture is doing is actually, when you're getting acupuncture, we're drawing all the energy in. Why is that? Healing the organs. And this is also why after acupuncture you get cold. A lot of people is like, whoa, I'm freezing. Ooh, I'm freezing after acupuncture because all the energy, all the heat from the limbs all draw into the organ, the organs start to heal because you only have so much heat and energy in your body. Acupuncture didn't make you cold, it just redistributed that energy to inside instead of outside. Because a lot of people, what? If you have a lot of energy outside, it's all outside, nothing is inside, then what? You had a lot of inflammation and chronic ache in your muscles, right? So we draw all that excess energy, or actually redistribute. You can rest and start healing. Right, so this is why post-treatment advice, so that when all the energy is inside, first off, you wouldn't be very strong to do external muscle-related things, exoskeleton things anyway. Acupuncture on the face, scars, yeah. So I also do acupuncture cosmetics, which would put over 60 needles on the face. I only do it when patients ask, okay? So if you ask, we charge you a little bit more for that procedure because it takes a long time to do all the needles in the face. I don't prefer doing it, but I do it. Acupuncture, naturally putting needles in the face helps your skin rejuvenate. For ladies, makes you look better. PTSD treatment, yep, PTSD is similar actually to alcohol and stress and smoking. That's correct. You're addicted to trauma. Now that might be pretty counterintuitive here, okay? Some of you might be pretty mad hearing that. What do you mean I'm addicted to trauma? Because your pattern in your mind is that. those with PTSD, just like smoking and alcohol, they keep wanting that, right? So what we do with acupuncture is the same. We retrain your brain to associate with a new pattern. So then that means that, right? Let's say some people with PTSD, most people have triggers. So let's say if you're a veteran, it's something to do with a gunshot, okay? Something that looks like a weapon that might trigger some kind of anxiety, death, okay? Right? It's impossible to remove everything, right? Because you don't want to live in a bubble. So same thing. It's impossible to remove all your friends, family, and tell them, yo, you can't drink, okay? You can't smoke because I'm trying to quit. So what we do is that instead of changing everybody else, we change you first. Okay, so needles moving, phantom pain, places with no needle. This is very simple. So now that you know Qi, Qi does what? Remember, Qi moves from the heart to the small intestine, and then what? Heats up. Large intestines start to move, right? And then small intestine goes to what? Small intestine goes from the liver to the gallbladder, to the small intestine to the bladder, and then to the kidneys. Kidneys back to the liver. So this is a whole system process. So yeah, sometimes you feel phantom pain. Some people feel pain right here. That's your large intestine finally moving. Some people feel pain right here. It's the stomach channel. Some people feel pain right here. Spleen channel. So in general, where you're experiencing phantom pain is where the healing is taking place. It just feels different. It's not really pain. As I mentioned that, acute pain, acute pain is what? It's sharp, right? And then chronic, or should I say acute pain is sharp. What causes acute pain is excess, right? And remember, the body is context and contrast. So if you have a person here, they don't get a lot of energy flow right here on the arm. All of a sudden, when Qi, all your energy channels open, the arms start getting flow. So in contrast in your mind, compared to what energy I was getting from the past, which is no energy, to a lot of energy all of a sudden. So you have an excess Qi. Excess Qi now causes acute sharp pain. But it's very temporary. It's not out. It's just like, feels like, boom. Whoa, what is that? I just got stuck there. This is because you're receiving excess Qi at that site. That means something was wrong there in the beginning. If nothing is wrong there, you wouldn't feel the pain there, okay? Just like you're coming in from when it's cold out, when it's snowing, you take your turn, you tap water, and it feels like the water's warmer, same idea, because of the context and contrast. Maintenance post-treatment, same thing, no alcohol, no strenuous exercises, preferably just relax. Some people may say, okay, what about having relations, right? Having relations with your partner. Preferably, if you feel tired, just rest, okay? Preferably not. If you want to do it very well, okay? Preferably no relations before or after treatment. Needles in different place in each session, somewhat. Actually, most of our patients get a lot of the same needles because you already know how complicated the body is. So every time we're treating the stomach, spleen, kidney, and large intestine, lung, all at the same time. And all those channels with different points, those points are openings for other channels. So it's pretty impossible with this treatment strategy that you don't get better, actually. Okay? I can't get credited for that, even though this is something that I do the most, but it was Dr. Tan that first revolutionized the treatment strategy. Okay? Meridians, do you want to know? Okay, so we already mentioned meridian according on what time of the day, right? Your body moves different things. Right? For example, in the morning is 7 to 9 a.m. You have a stomach channel, right? Stomach channel started from the eyes, go down to the toe, second toe, and then it turns to the spleen, then it comes up. So in 24 hours, chi travel through your whole body once. Autoimmune. Immune system is the lung. It's the lung issue. Autoimmune is lung. It's also skin, fluid, saliva, and how you feel about justice. That is a mental thing, okay? That very last part, you can think about it for a second. But you're gonna have issues with skin, fluid, and saliva issues. So then what we do is that we'll correct the lung to correct the autoimmune. It's typically some kind of excess or deficient issues with the lung. But the lung is metal. So earth nourishes metal. And that's about it. Also, one last question that you have about some people with post-treatment. Some people may say, okay, some days I get treatment, I feel great. Some days I get treatment, I actually feel worse. This is because when we get the energy flow through the body, that energy start to heal. But you still need the organs to provide that. So you can see, remember we drew a picture of, right? Your heart produces for small intestine, right? Small intestine that help the large intestine goes back to the lung, right? The lung that help heart push back. So this is a circle. So you see this as train stations, okay? You have passengers go to, just your chi on the train, go to different train stations. But some train stations have issues on the station because that organ is having issues. So where that chi stops may have issues. So, but if that station is having issues, then what? The repair people can't go there to fix, right? So what we have is that at first, boom, the trains start to move. That's when the chi started moving. But over time, that chi that starts moving is gonna bring people, bring workers, right? Bring different personnels to that station. So that station eventually has to heal. So this is why sometimes you feel sluggish. Because you sluggish is that station needs healing, and sometimes it just takes a while, okay? If you have any additional questions, email me.